Greetings, my name is Mary-Helen Nadi. I am an independent John Maxwell certified trainer, a coach and a speaker. This journey started about 1992 when I joined Diamond Bank as a secretary. I worked for 3 years as a secretary and got converted into mainstream banking. And I had a brief stint in operations, in marketing, and I was sent to the training department where I was made to spend the next 11 years of my career. So on my own, I just took to training. When consultants come in to train, I listen to them, I take notes. Sometimes when they are not in the classroom, I take the floor and I start teaching my young participants who were mostly young graduates. I found out that as I was getting older, the people that were being sent to my training school are younger people. And I found out too that there is a dearth in knowledge. There's knowledge gap in society. In society, a lot of people don't know, because if they knew better, they will do better. Like my friend and mentor John Maxwell, he said that when you know, you grow and it shows. So in 2012, that was exactly 10 years ago, when I retired from banking, I now started my consulting firm. In between, I had an old age career. I worked in SEC as a deputy director in charge of learning and career development. And after SEC, I also had a brief stint with an NGO, the National Malaria Elimination Program, NMEP. And then since 2017, I've been self-employed, training people, retraining, and developing people in organizations, in churches, individuals, and all that. Today, I function as an independent John Maxwell certified trainer because in 2016, I took a trip to Orlando, Florida, in the United States to do John Maxwell certification, because I needed an identity in retirement, as it were. So I am in active retirement. Thank you. When I found myself in Diamond Bank Training School in 2001, I just found out that it was something I started enjoying. It may also please you to know that my late father was a school teacher. So I guess it runs in my DNA. Like I said, most young people need a lot of training, mentorship, guidance. Because they say if you train a woman, you train a nation. So I also believe that when you train these young ones, you train future leaders. It's not as if I don't train older people, but the young people are people I'm beginning to have a lot of burden for. My unique selling advantage is the fact that they said that experience is a treasure. I found out that once I'm in the classroom and I mentioned some teaching points on my slides, stories that validate those bulletproofs, they just fly into my head, even if they happened 10, 15, 20 years ago. And usually I share real life stories in the classroom. So that makes my presentation very unique. People are an asset. Every organization must run with human beings. So it's those human beings we target to improve their skills, knowledge, and attitude. It may please you to know that not too long ago, I just logged into LinkedIn and I saw one of my former trainees, somebody I had trained 20 years ago. He was testifying to the fact that a lot of what he has achieved today, because he's in Ireland now, that he attributes it to his days at the training school in Diamond Bank, as it then was. That also happened the very next week. Some other person was also testifying. So these testimonials make me very happy and fulfilled that at least I'm impacting lives. Well, usually different trainings have different deliverables rather. So most times before we train, we ask the organization, what exactly are you trying to impact on these people? And so when they tell us, we go there with a view to doing that. And like I said, they said that, people learn from other people's experiences, you learn from their failures, you learn from their successes. So most times when I share these stories, a lot of people are able to glean value from my sessions in different areas. And, they said that knowledge is power, but lately we found out that knowledge is not power. So it's the application of what you've learned that makes you powerful. So when people learn and practice, they become powerful. But if they learn it and have just the knowledge, it doesn't do much for them. I generally do what they call soft skills in training, what we refer to as generic. Anybody, irrespective of industry, can attend the kind of trainings I do. But that does not mean I don't take jobs in other areas. I do trainings in the area of business etiquette, for instance, social polish, mannerisms, and all that. Communication skills, I train on leadership. I train on goal setting, team building. The whole gamut of general skills, there are quite a lot. Lately, I've started delving into emotional intelligence and, of course, pre-retirement, which is my favorite. Because once I enter pre-retirement class, the first thing I announce to them is that I'm in retirement, and let's take it from there. So you try to tell people that retirement is not as bad as people think it is. So it also depends on what you did when you were working. If during your working days you did not make good use of the information you got, then retirement becomes stressful. It becomes something to be scared about. But if you learned a business, a trade, a technique, that can help you to survive, at least in the active retirement days. So for me, I don't see training as a job. I see it as fun. Whenever I'm in the classroom, I have fun and impart knowledge, and everybody is happy. We also do indoor games. Also, tell stories, digress, whatever it takes to keep the audience happy and bubbly. When you talk about business etiquette, for instance, the world is now a global village. You see a lot of professionals, don't even know how to dress well, because etiquette starts with appearances. So you tell people the appropriate way to dress. When I was in the bank, I recall a situation where somebody came for an interview wearing yellow suit. We did not even interview the guy. So if he knew better, he would at least have been given a chance to be interviewed. Yellow is not a corporate color, both for men and for women. So people are told the appropriate colors to wear. People are told how to behave. People are told how to comport themselves generally. Because there are things you can do in the confines of your room, but if you do it in the public place, you're perceived as somebody who doesn't know any better. And once people meet you, it doesn't take 1 minute for them to assess you. And that assessment starts from their impression of you, looking at what you are, what you're wearing, how you speak, how you comport yourself, how you're seated, even your grammar. They all give you away as being, informed or otherwise. So that is like an aspect of what I train people on. And then in the area of pre-retirement, the part I enjoy most is when I talk to them about retirement realities. A situation where a lot of things will no longer be there. 90% of those relationships that define you, you lose them in retirement. And of course, all the peeps that people put on their shoulders, the ED, EO, ES, SSO, whatever, DG, in retirement they go. So people need to start preparing their minds and know that those accolades will no longer be theirs in retirement. The structure, the fact that, weekends you go and prepare, go to barber, go and do your hair, clean your suit, go to the dry cleaners. Those things all are no longer required in retirement, but there are still ways to work around them. So you also find out that you need company in retirement, because one of the things that kill retirees is when they're lonely, they go into depression. In fact, my own mother now is independent retirement. She's almost 90. And in the past, maybe 6 months or more, we hold a Zoom meeting with her every Sunday. That's just to keep her going. My lawyer, who is a son, also told me about his father, who's resident in the East, that they bring somebody to do his nails. The gentleman comes on a Monday and does just one toenail, goes home the next day, comes for the next, just to make sure that somebody is around him. So people need to build lasting relationships that will support them in retirement. And of course, spousal support as well. So these are things we really have to enlighten them on so that they don't die. Because one of the agencies I did a training in last year, in retirement, they told me a director retired, and within 4 months, the guy died. So, a lot could have been done to keep him alive. Because if you don't know, you also will not know how to execute. We talk about writing, business writing, business communication. I had a principal where I did my secretarial training. She said that if she picks up a letter from an organization, she can tell you about the organization. A lot of people don't know the difference between business writing and, colloquial conversation. Recently, I was hiring for an organization, and an applicant wrote the word D-E-N when he meant to write T-H-E-N. So there's a lot of gap in communication skills. There are quite a number of goal setting. A lot of people don't know how to set goals. They also don't know the areas. So we also guide them how to set goals for life, how to set goals in 5 or 6 distinct areas, how to allot time frame to them, and how to run with them. And of course, the importance of having an accountability partner who will help you. I didn't know that Barack Obama, for instance, he had a strategist. I found out the day he won elections many years ago as president of America. His strategist was that these were people who were helping to navigate him. A lot of Nigerian young men and women don't have such people around them. We also talk about mentorship. A lot of leaders, when they succeed, they don't have successors. That's because they didn't mentor young people behind them. So during mentorship, we also open people's eyes to the need to have successors. These are what we call generic skills. They all have a handshake. They're all about human beings. I also teach on personality types, personality profiling. We also talk to people about personal effectiveness, the habits that you inculcate. People just come and pass through life without knowing that from time to time, you must have things that you focus on, a vision you work on, which is also a long-term thing. It's an ongoing thing. It's like a journey. So like I said, it's a whole lot of, effort in the area of manpower development. Usually, when I was in the bank, like I said, I spent 11 years in Diamond Bank Training School. When I was in the bank, immediately we hired anybody, whether at the graduate level, which we call entry-level hiring, or experienced hires. Once you hire people, they're not supposed to start work immediately. You must spend some time with them to tell them about the organization. So in Diamond Bank, we had a system where people spent minimum 6 weeks with me in the training school. And in those 6 weeks, we also taught them different aspects about banking, about relationship, about marketing, about comportment, business etiquette, dress code, so many things. So by the time they are done with the 6 to 8 weeks or more of training, they are now ready to start out. And sometime in between the training, they go for what we call, they go for an attachment, as it were, in a department to find out what it is in real life, so that when they enter the banking hall, it's not totally new to them. They would have learned at least one thing or two, and then they start learning on the job. Then when they start work, from time to time, we had a policy whereby everybody must undergo at least 2 trainings in a financial year. One might be in-house, and the other one would be one we invite consultants to train us in. So when people learn, the whole essence of training is to improve people's skills, knowledge, and attitude. So when they learn better, they know how to do their jobs better. And of course, lately organizations have now started including pre-retirement in their training calendar, so that when people work for them and by the time they retire, they will not be completely useless to themselves and to society. So pre-retirement prepares people for life after retirement. I prefer to call that embracing your third career, because when people hear retirement, they get so scared. So when you call it embracing your third career, you kind of hide in between. Your first career is the days of schooling, second career is the career proper, and then third career is retirement. So we prepare people in all those areas. Incidentally, the founder of the bank where I worked, the defunct Diamond Bank, Pascal Gabriel Dozier, attended the London School of Economics. So Pascal placed a lot of importance on staff training and development. The training curriculum was quite a huge one, and we had both in-house facilitators and consultants who came in to train. When they come in, the first thing we do is to talk to them about vision, mission, values of the organization. Thereafter, we start on things like communication skills, we start them on things like business etiquette, we start them on things like goal setting. We bring in people to talk to them about marketing, about credit, basic credit, intermediate credit, and all that. Part of what a business owner should do really is to have a business model. Part of what a business person should do is also to do some research, find out why those who are succeeding are succeeding. Remember what I talked about learning. A wise man learns from other people's experiences. So they should find out what is making this organization grow. And if they get to know that training is part of it, then they should also train their staff. But I found out that most times SMEs don't like to train because of staff attrition. But that should not deter them, because once you have somebody in your organization, if the person knows better, then your organization can grow. So for us, one of the things that made Diamond Bank of the, as it then was, to tick was training. And 5% of the bank PBT was dedicated to training. So that was also part of the success story of the organization. A lot of money was spent training and retraining, and that can also be seen in the various products of the organization. We have a serving governor now who is a product of Diamond Bank. We have a commissioner in one of the states. So I will encourage SMEs, I will encourage MDs, EDs, CEOs to get their staff trained. It is said that if you don't train them, you don't blame them. Most mistakes that happen in organizations, industries, is because those people don't know any better. Nobody has trained them. So if they don't know, there's no how they will know how to do it well. So training is key. And if you think that training is very expensive, you're advised to try ignorance. So for every profit you make in a year as an organization, part of it should be dedicated to staff training. When consultants come to train, you pay them. So that money should be dedicated to training. Somebody said, on Facebook that you should follow who know road. So find out those who are not only, we have trainers and we have training consultants. Find out who the proper trainers are. Yes, almost everybody now who has left one job or the other parades themselves as trainers. But if I see you in a classroom, I watch you for 5-10 minutes, I can tell. So please go for the best, and then you get the best, and then your organization will grow. Thank you.